My 22 JLU Sahara used to have a Mopar cold air intake where I actually cut through the hood in order to install. And then I saw some Rubicon hoods on Facebook Marketplace, and I've always loved the look of the Rubicon hood, but they were expensive. Fortunately, I found out that Jeep, when they had the issue of the paint bubbling, instead of just having the body shop go in and fix the paint, they actually had new hoods sent out. So you can find these Rubicon hoods from body shops for next to nothing, which is what I did. So now I have a Mopar cold air intake inside, but no hole here. And this time decided to do something a little different. I saw that Rugged Ridge has the cold air intakes that instead of cutting a hole on the side of your hood, actually comes out this side panel here. And that was intriguing, but not for $800 or whatever they're charging. I think that I have found that Chinese factory is selling for pennies on the dollar, factory seconds. Are they worth it? It's exactly the same from what I've been able to see. So let's find out together. In came the box, and I'm just opening it up now. Looks like just a box inside. It is a box inside of a box. Let's get this out and I'll show you. Hope you don't mind. My work table is my trash can. Still recovering from a divorce. I kind of have some tools yet to buy, but this is, guys, this is exactly what I said. This is factory seconds. It is unbranded, but literally all of it is the exact same. Yeah, so let's get started installing this bad boy. Because I've already done a cold air intake, I've already removed my stock air box, plugged the holes from the bottom, and already removed the the air inlet that is down underneath, and gotten some of that stuff already done. So I'm gonna skip that step and move over to removing my side panels. I said plural, but it's actually just the one. And note, I do use the Lange original mirrors. I'll have to do a video on that at some point, but it is without a doubt, for those of you who know, the best mirror to use when you're riding around without your doors on. Zero movement whatsoever, you can actually see. Now that this is removed, they do recommend that you remove your stock antenna. I didn't have to with my Shorty, but now we're just going to remove this foam piece. It is simply glued in down here, so it's just a, oh, maybe not. Did not know. But it does have some glue on it, and then it has this little plastic popper thing holding it in. Next, we're going to remove this bolt right here. It is a 10mm. It will not be reused. Next up, we need to cut this plastic right here. And unfortunately, I do not have a Dremel. So out comes the old trusty pocket knife. Thankfully, I just sharpened it. But essentially just make this into a square. Next, once you have that trimmed, we're just gonna put the new cowl piece in place. And this is gonna replace your stock. So I'm gonna keep my stock one, and then we're just reusing the factory hardware to secure it in place. Well, I was definitely trying to avoid it, but you have to remove the stock air box. It's one bolt, your worm clamp here, and it turns out I had actually not removed my ambient air intake when I did my cold air intake from Mopar. So, gotta take that out. I'll be honest, that was kind of a bear to get off. I recommend starting at one side and like slowly but surely working your way around, but just spent 10 minutes forcing that thing off. Ugh. All right, next we need to remove this splash guard from the stock air box. Obviously I've got, maybe not obviously, but I have the cold air intake from Mopar Airbox. The top is the same, but it removed the inlet from the stock air intake. So we want to depress these tabs here, and then also down here. All right, next we're going to fill these holes. They recommend using RTV, which they do not supply, and I don't have any. And I'll be honest, this is just for looks. I do not intend on fording any streams that are that deep, so I'm not going to do it. Next, we're going to open up the airbox. And with your filter out, drill a 5/8 hole in the very lowest part of your airbox, so that way we can attach the hose to allow water that intrudes to escape without destroying your engine. All right, so I know I said a 5/8, it's actually a 1/2 inch hole. Put the grommet in, align all this. I definitely recommend using some soapy water to fit this over. These plastic bits are a little weak, so that'll make it easier for you. All right, now that we have our airbox reassembled, we're gonna put this gasket on this adapter, and we're going to install it onto your airbox. All right, now that you have that installed onto your airbox, I turned it onto its side, and you take this L bracket, connect it here with the supplied screws, and I'll show you what is there. All right, now that you have that installed, next you're gonna put this rubber bit in here. Again, soapy water is the key. All right, so I have this installed, but it's just loose. Now we're gonna install the plenum. They make a note that this side that has the tab is gonna go down, and this side gets the shorter of the two sleeves, and the longer sleeve goes towards the compartment. Okay, I definitely had to remove this cowl again to get this piece connected to here, so on and so forth. So here's what looks like so far. Now to get this piece back on. All right, hood down. I've tightened the hood bolts, and time to apply this seal. This is the one that has the adhesive backing on it, and we're just gonna get that on there. In addition to this adhesive backed one, they also have this molded plastic piece that goes here. I'm guessing that's just simply for noise. And then we're gonna go over here and install it. All right, almost done. we're just going to tighten up these, what are they, 4mm hex bolts. It's kind of a, I don't know, interesting process to get those things lined up. Not too bad though. And then, last but not least, they have a black worm gear, and final touch will be, well, second to final touch will be to place that on there and then adjust this rubber stopper. And we're done. Well, all finished, buttoned up, and I gotta say, it looks real good. Very unobtrusive while I'm driving, don't even notice it really. It's not any louder than stock. And yeah, overall I think it looks good. 10 out of 10. If you're considering Rugged Ridge Snorkel, I don't know, maybe do a little search on eBay and you might be able to find a factory second for a quarter of the price.